Duel 8.9 Hajime! It is time for my newest deck, which I have been testing for the last 2 days. It's my rank up magic fairy deck. And I like it, because I like seizing and I like rank up magic and seeing the combos, you can work them out. I just like it. And Limited Barion's Force is going to come in the starter deck of 2013, which will be out soon, I believe. And then Numeron Force in Judgment of the Light. I'll probably do, I'm going to do a Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion on the 3 different rank up magics that have so far been revealed. Possibly there will be a 4th, maybe, I don't know, but on those 3 and the differences and the advantages they have compared to the others and the disadvantages. Because I've been thinking about that quite a bit, and then just talk about some combos that you're able to do with them and you can't do with others. Alright, now onto this duel. My opponent is using Naturias, although he's using some cards that you don't really see very often. So I was like, maybe he just threw together some Naturias and some other cards he liked. But then I'm like, if he just does that, then you don't get to like almost 1,000 rating that easily, especially in the duel pool. So he must know what he's doing, although he didn't understand that he didn't know what his strap did because it only works against quick play spells and not normal spells as Heavy Storm. And he was trying to use Naturia Cliff's effect then, but it would have missed timing since Heavy Storm would have still resolved and the destruction of Cliff wouldn't have been the last thing to happen, so it will miss the timing. So I'm not really sure. I'm not going to judge this my opponent fatyguero. I'm not really sure how good he really is, because it's a weird deck, and he at the start there were some things like, if you really know your rulings you would know that, but I guess misreading a card happens, and you don't have to know every ruling to be a good duelist. I was high up in the rankings before I became admin. Well, let's just get on to the duel and see what's happening. He was able to bring out Prime Material Dragon and Naturia Cliff. So I'm like, okay, I could do nothing and go for Gorse. I could also play Shining Friendship and then take the hit and then do Gorse afterwards. But I'm like, wait a minute. His first 2 traps didn't seem too dangerous. I was thinking, there's a pretty good chance that he won't have like Dimensional Prism, Bottomless Trap, or Solemn Warning. Probably he'll have that somewhere in his deck, but I didn't think he would use it. To see if he would maybe have one of them, I played Swing of Memories to bring back Dunamis Dark Witch. Didn't do anything. I throw in Shining Friendship, and I overlay. Levelion, Dark Witch, Shining Friendship, overlay. Nitaya Monsade, overlay network, Kochku, Exise Shokan, Arawaru, Numbers, Sanjunkyu, Kibo, Hopu. And I again looked up the Japanese names for Dunamis Dark Witch and Shining Friendship before this, but I clicked them away, so I don't know them anymore. Dang it. Well, at least that I think about it now, it's more fun. And I'll remember it better for later. That way I can do my summon chance better. And here I go with Shining Abyss. I know that Shining Abyss can take Cliff. I'm like, wait, if Cliff's effect is used, you are forced to summon the monster in attack position. So I'm like, okay, destroy Cliff, force him to summon something in attack position, would he wish to use the effect, and then damage him with Utopia. Or if he doesn't use the effect, I'll use Utopia to attack the face down monster, then he won't take the damage, but then he'll have one less monster on the field. So both have an advantage for me. He decided to go with Naturia Cliff, take the 1,000 damage to summon, I believe it's Naturia Cherries, but later on it is revealed that his face down monster is actually also Naturia Cherries. So, and that one Naturia Cherries that he has face down would be able to summon the other 2 from his deck in one go. So I personally wouldn't have used that effect to summon Cherries, because, you know, that just counts you with 1,000 life points, and you would have been able to summon the Cherries anyway with the first Cherries' effect. And here I'm thinking, do I want to use Common Charity or not? It's the Allure of Darkness of normal monsters. I decided not to, because just in case he has something good and he's able to wipe out with his monsters, I will have Gorse. And if I wouldn't have drawn a normal monster, in the two cards with common charity, I would have had to discard both Turbos and Gores, and Gores is what I really wanted to keep just in case. I did draw into Janami's Dark Witch, so common charity would have worked normally, but I didn't want to take the risk. Here I destroyed Naturia Cherries, as I just said. He summons the third one. Here he would have been able to summon the second one as well. Wouldn't he have used Cliff? So, would fatyguero be watching this match? You could have just used the first Naturia Cherries to summon the second and the third. Would have saved you 1,000 life points. Now I destroy it. No cherries left, obviously, because two are in there's grave and one is on his field. And did you notice I never summoned Dunami's Dark Witch? Because I did see it, and I was thinking about, oh yeah, common charity would have worked out too bad. And then I was thinking, how am I going to attack? And then I just attacked. And after I selected, I clicked the attack button on Utopia, that's when I realized, oh shit, I haven't summoned yet. If it would have been just after, clicking Battle Phase and I wouldn't have actually attacked yet, click the attack button, I would have been allowed to say, misclick, back to M1 to summon Dunami's Dark, which I would have done that. But I didn't. I'm like, okay, we're gonna continue now. Even though it was a misclick. Although it wasn't really a misclick anymore, now it really was just me forgetting I was able to normal summon. And I decided to summon it afterwards and exceeds into Constellar Omega, just in case of, well, Bottomless Trapple, Mirror Force, things like that. Constellar Omega can make sure he's not affected. Now here he uses Solemn Warning the moment I overlay, but he said K to Tour Guide's effect. So I'm like, wait, you can't do that on Night Assailant because you already took out Tour Guide's. You said K to Tour Guide's effect. So I'm like, okay, summon the card. Because I wanted to summon Zenmain's in attack, and he states that he wanted to use it on the extra deck monster, the Xyz monster that I would have summoned. But since he used Solemn Warning before, what any player could have done is just summon a monster that you don't care about. I wouldn't have been able to use Levier because there's nothing banished, so I could have just summoned Levier and kept Zenmain's for later, because I do have another Tour Guide in my deck. And that way, I could have just said that's what I wanted to summon. And he has no way to prove that I wanted to do something different, like Zenmain's. But I just I went with Zenmain's. I wanted to summon that. I did exactly what it would have done. And just continued the duel. Hit him for 25. I was like, yeah, I'm going to hit him for perfect LP damage next turn with the 2400 of Omega, but here he admits defeat because he knows that with the cards in his hand he is unable to stop me. So thank you, fatyguero, for the duel. You guys, I'm going to see you later. You'll probably see my Rank of Magic deck in, well, I have multiple decks with Barian's Force, but this one is really has a focus on it. So you'll probably see this deck back and otherwise another deck that uses Rank of Magic. I'm going to have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion on the Rank of Magics and also on that new special cool card that that's going to come out in one of the Japanese promo sets. So alright, this was Duel 89. We're getting pretty close to 100. I have an idea of what I want to do for Duel 100. I did plan something for Duel 50, back when I reached that. We were I did a few duels with a specific well-known person on DN at the time. But we never really got a good duel in, so we delayed it. But then I was after 1.5 weeks, I was like, I need to do a duel now. I want to do Duel 50, so that was just a regular duel. But for Duel 100, I do plan to do something very special, like a really big Yu-Gi tuber. That's my plan at the moment, to duel a really big Yu-Gi tuber for Duel 100. So, for example, Ace and Ice White Dragon. That's just one of the possibilities. There's a lot more people that I could duel, but that's just one of the people that I know of that could possibly be my opponent for Duel 100. Alright guys, I'm going to see you guys later. See you in Duel 90. Bye-bye.